The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Assemble! You're watching Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture. We are the Fantastic Forum, coming to you live and direct from the Hall of F. I hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you should stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. First, he is our riddle inside of an enigma trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey.
Next, he's our intrepid senior reporter. He's next in line for the cowl. He is our resident Dark Knight detective. It's Oz.
I just realized I really zoomed in. I moved the camera and it's freaking me out now. I didn't expect it to be this zoomed in. Oh, no, I mean I know I look good, but you know.
Next, he's the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses Magnum.
Hi. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I usually have to think about it first, but I don't.
It's okay, Mo.
And then I never see what I think about.
And as for myself, my name is Lawrence Young. They call me Mayor Young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. We got a great show for you today because we are going to be talking to you all about X-Men Hellfire Gala 2023 #1. And we're going to be talking to you all about Justice League Warworld, the latest DC animated flick. And of course, whatever else it is that you all want to talk about. And we'll tell you how it is. You can let us know what that is in just a moment. But before we do all that, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, because without him, this show would not exist. So thank you, Scott Rubin. And we want to go ahead and I guess we can just go ahead and get right to the intern, right? And have the intern tell you how to get down with Fantastic Forum.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
fantasticforum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Thank you, intern. Look, intern was kind of bugging last week, huh?
Yeah,
she was.
She was on some other stuff. Gentlemen, great job last week. You all put on a fantastic show. I laughed my backside off. Look, there was a number of different highlights. I especially liked when you mentioned how the Nightmare and Green Lantern, what if it was just the Grant Morrison run reprinted? I was like, dude, that is hilarious and wrong. And that's funny, man. Like,
what's that?
You did. You did. Like, what? Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, was it Morrison? Was it Morrison that did that?
Yeah, him and Liam Sharp.
Yeah, that joint was funny.
But I like that.
Oh, I know you do, but you know the rest of us were kind of about it. Like, or actually, I think Jay liked it too, right? You liked it too, Jay?
I did.
Yeah, I think it's just me and Oz because we're the only real Green Lantern fans here. So
clearly,
never heard of him.
Never. So but yeah, man, you all did a good job. Just wanted to make sure I let you know. Also, too, I was surprised by how much I got blamed for things going wrong, despite the fact that I was not there. I was like, oh man, like,
well, would they have gone wrong if you were here?
Listen, I don't know, but what I will say is I feel like they're more FU Larrys when I'm gone than when I'm actually here, which I don't know if I take that as a compliment or if that's a like I'm not sure how to interpret that. I was like, damn. I was like, I guess I will.
Fuck you, Larry.
There, thank you.
We can even things out. Yeah, we can.
Right.
Fuck you, Larry.
You
got it, Dirty Larry.
You got it, Dirty Larry. That's the one.
Fuck you, Larry. There you go.
So anyway,
Infrared 911 says, "Yeah, Larry."
Yeah, there it is. Thank you, Infrared. As we should mention, if you want to call into the show, you can go to fantasticforum.live, hit the call-in button. You'll be the 5th member of Fantastic Forum, or you can just jump into Twitch chat. You can jump into YouTube chat and let us know what you're thinking or what it is you want us to talk about. Like, chime in. The show's interactive, so feel free.
We got to get the intern to say "F you, Larry," because just literally just did her job.
No, I mean, look, she doesn't say those things in the thing because it
says go fantasticforumlive.com.
Yeah, but I don't know. Well, anyway, either way, if you want to be a part of the show, chime in. We're going to be talking X-Men. We're going to be talking Justice League, Warworld. We're going to be talking whatever else it is y'all want to talk about. That's the long and the short of it all. So, but yeah, again, good job last week, fellas. I was like watching and I was like, man, I wish I was there. Like I was listening, like, man, I had stuff to say. You know what I'm saying? I want to chime in. Like, honestly, like, but I will say, like, you all sold Night Terrors for real. I'm like, dude, like, y'all made it sound a lot better than than my personal experience. Like,
you don't like scary things.
But that's true. But but honestly, it's not like I didn't dislike it overall. I just was like, I hate that how DC will just like start an actual event, like, and it feels like it starts in the middle when you buy number 1. Like, I hate that. And so that always puts a bad taste in my mouth. And then the biggest thing though was I wasn't that sold on Insomnia. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like what's happening is cool. Like the events are cool. And I find it interesting. And I know that like all the tie-ins have their own little spins. And like I said, that was what you all, I think, really excelled. Where I was like, man, you all showcased why those tie-ins are worth your while, because I was listening. I was like, man, I'm going to go read that. I need to read that one too. I didn't read that one because, there's a lot of Night Terrors tie-ins. But
Mo's getting the entire run of everything. So just stop.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because realistically, like, even reading them now, like they're still, some are a little less lustrous, but they're still good. And when you're also, I'm the dude, Larry, that read all of Dark Web. Right. And this event is similar to that in a sense, like some of the motivations.
Better.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is it's way better. Like, I really wish Dark Web started. It wouldn't make it better, but started in the middle like that.
Right. I think it would have.
I wish it would have been rushed like in a month, like this is like a month and a half. So and in what you said about starting in the middle of things, like how that feeling, it's something I'm becoming a fan of now. Like, especially when we get to our Warworld review, I'll expound on that. But yeah, I can't wait to finish Night Terrors. So
yeah, there it is.
And we got that review coming up for the whole after it ends, right? I'll be
absolutely like once Night Terrors,
every single book.
That's what we're gonna do. Every book. Shout out to Infrared 911. They said you guys seem cool. Should have more viewers. I agree with Infrared 911. We should have more viewers. So someone get on that.
We're getting
Say in?
We're getting there.
Oh yeah. No. We're growing. But
no, Emily's about to turn off. And Emily's about to turn on her iPad in a little bit.
There it is.
Oh, okay. Don't say that. That's even more embarrassing. She's like, it is on.
It's on. She's like, you don't see me in there? Here I am. That's too funny. But anyway, So, but yeah, good job once again. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it because I was just like I just and I feel like part of it is just like what I didn't know is that you all mentioned that I guess there's a book where you like insomnia first gets introduced, and I'm like, oh, okay, like what book is that? Like I might need that because right now insomnia is just this random dream dude, and I don't. And the big thing is like I
That's
think I
First
don't like the
Blood.
design. The design is the kind of like like he looks a little too regular. He kind of has like a something like between like the Joker and like fake ass Kefka, you know, like I don't know. I don't
Like
know.
Jay
But yeah.
says,
like Chasm's design. Like
Jay says he was introduced in First Blood. I heard he was introduced in the Zatanna tie-in, but I haven't read either one, so I'm gonna go with Jay's opinion. And that he's introduced in First Blood, and he's coming back from Vietnam and just trying to get home, and then one thing after another happens, and at the end of it, he says nothing is over, and then that's when the actual book starts.
It's over, Johnny. It's not over.
By the end of it, he's screaming, "I am the law."
He's every Stallone character. He's all of them in one. I love it.
They're all the same guy.
So, speaking of war, should we move on to Warworld?
I mean, really, what is it good for?
With the
Absolutely
ninja. Wait, well, with the ninja segues right there. He's like, speaking of war. Sure. Why not? Why not move on to Warworld? Let's do it. Shall we play some news music? I mean news, some cinema.
Yeah, I'll do it here. Where is it?
Comic book theater. Comic book theater.
All right.
I keep forgetting
Jay.
to grab a pen. I got this thick ass marker to work with. And it's dry erase, so I got to be careful.
What are you gonna do with that?
Stuff we talked about earlier.
Yeah, you weren't here last week, so you don't know what we're doing.
Oh, okay.
If that is your real name.
My real name is, in fact, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what we're
how
doing.
much time you actually spend working, and it'll be reflected on your check.
Oh, got it. Okay, there it is. All right, Jay, would you be so kind as to tell the people about Justice League Warworld? What is this joint about? What can they expect?
So first Wonder Woman is a cowboy fighting Jonah Hex, and then Batman is a mercenary betraying. I can't remember the guy's name.
Warlord.
Yeah, Warlord. And then Superman is a reporter in the 50s. And then Mongol shows up. And yeah, that's kind of it, I think.
That's kind of it. Okay, that's fair. What, like, Jay, we all know that you really, really wanted to talk about this.
I really didn't.
Basically were telling us how much it's like your favorite DC animated film, like up there. Like it's kind of like close to Flashpoint and Mask of Phantasm. I remember you saying that. So I wanted to, what is it about this that makes you love it so much, Jay?
Like, what even is the story they're trying to tell? It's so fucking weird and random, and it's not even like, if it had been like an anthology of Elseworlds, like I would have got that. But they said no when they tried to tie it to their main story, and it's like, why? Like, what is the purpose of all this? Like, it's just weird. It's yeah. I don't. I don't get it. Like,
Jay loves it so much. I picture years from now, in his old age, when he's taking his last breath in his deathbed, he's gonna drop a single DVD and say Warworld.
That's it.
I'm all for Wonder Woman, like shooting between the eyes. Like, that's awesome. Like, no matter how you look at it.
Okay,
but it really feels odd that they would try to connect these unrelated stories into their main plot, and they do it so poorly. It's like they disappear at the end of Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes, and then this happens, and then at the end of this, they're like, now we have to do with the real threat. It's like, you literally could have took this movie out, and it would have been a better movie. Like,
wait,
didn't exist.
Wait, it is so funny you say that, because, like, first of all, I'm just realizing that these are all supposed to be connected. Like, like with that, where you're like, oh, they disappeared.
You didn't know?
I was like, oh wait, no, like, why would I know that?
Well, the same art style.
We've talked about it.
Yeah, the Tomorrowverse.
He doesn't listen to the show.
Listen. Understand. I get that we've mentioned it before, but you know how my memory is, right? And the fact that this movie,
but usually you remember comic stuff.
Yeah, but this is not comic stuff. This is like, listen, here's the wild part. There's so many wild things, because Jay's absolutely right, because at the end of this joint, they basically tell you, like, the movie itself admits that nothing that you've just watched matters at the end. And right. I was like, yeah, that feels right. That feels like the sentiment that you just expressed was like, you know, everything you all just done was a waste of time. You need to get to the real
all of
stuff.
existence.
Like, that's exactly how I felt too. I was like, oh wow,
all of existence is a waste of time. Like, it's really all it is. Like, the reason you work is you got 24 hours in a day. You know, they bullshit you into thinking you got to pay rent and shit, and you know, you got to work for it. But realistically, you could just be gazing at the sky all day, really, and just be maybe even happier.
That's 100%. That's fulfilling, and this is like the opposite of that. This felt like,
no,
like what? Why? This is like, really? Like, listen, there's so many things wrong with this joint. Like, oh my god, like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Huh? Go ahead, Mom.
It was just right. I liked it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
You don't know what you like, Mo.
You got Jonah Hex in it. Like, you got Jonah Hex in it. Like, I love Jonah Hex. Like,
I do know you like Jonah Hex.
I didn't feel like Jonah Hex, though.
Well, it's not. It's him altered and cloned a billion times to gather his most negative self. Like, and it explained why he's not the Jonah Hex that I'm used to.
Like, he might as well have done the sign of the cross at some point.
No, because he's see, honestly, that's because you don't read Jonah Hex. Like, him being pushed like this would make him more of a villain than, because he's the anti-hero he is. He's not a good guy. You know, right. I wouldn't even call him an anti-hero. Like, he's literally just, he's more like the Punisher in a sense. He's not looking to save people. He's looking to fuck people up. And then being pushed for his negative energy, for more of his negative self, is perfect like that. The shit you saw on Legends of Tomorrow was him give you some guy that you could redeem in case they decide to do a show that you need to like. You don't need to like fucking Jonah Hex to enjoy his fiction. Yeah,
it's so funny because as I'm watching this joint, I'm like Jonah Hex showed up, and I'm like, oh, okay, like, you know, and I'm like, Mo doesn't get a lot of Jonah Hex.
Yeah.
And then the second thing had the Batman in it, and I was like, there's this world, and I'm like, I don't know what that world is. And I'm like,
what the fuck? You don't know what? Man, you never read Warlord?
No.
He was in Justice League Unlimited.
Right.
Like
And
an
he was in
episode?
the Wonder Comics run of Young Justice.
Yeah, see, I didn't even see that. I got to read that.
Wonder.
Yeah, I know you didn't read that, but you watched Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah, I saw that.
We're talking about an episode?
Yeah, the one with Supergirl and Stargirl both end up in Warlord's place.
Yeah.
And there's no yellow sun, so Supergirl has to, do her thing without powers. And basically Stargirl has to get over her, she's kind of jealous of Supergirl because of how powerful she is, and she gets to see her do her thing without powers, to see just how cool she actually is.
Yeah. Gotcha. I think I remember that.
But you never read those comics, the Warlord comics?
No. And then
I don't know how you like Edgar Rice Burroughs and not read that.
I don't know what to tell you, friend. And then you get Lobo, and I was like, Bo's gonna like this.
Yeah, I was mad Lobo wasn't in the center of the earth world. He should have been in all of it. He should have been the cowboy. He should have been. And then how he turned out at the end too was even better because he's like, oh, this dude's working for Mongol, and it's like I get it, like he's a bounty guy. And then how it all played out, I'm like, oh, this is tight. The voice was good. Fucking John DiMaggio doing his voice. Like I never thought I'd get over Brad Garrett not doing it, and now I have another Lobo.
But it was DiMaggio and Superman, right?
No, it was Brad Garrett in Superman.
Oh.
So, Oz, what was your thoughts on this Justice League Warworld?
Somewhere in the middle of all you guys.
Okay.
I like the individual stories. I don't think you needed to tie them together to connect them to the other movies. We'll see what they do with the next one. Maybe that'll come into play somehow. I doubt it, but I don't mind having a movie that's just 3 or 4 short stories with these characters, like an Elseworlds thing. And I think even in this one, they do mention that they're interdimensional. I think they say we're not from the Trinity. Point out that they're not all from the same universe or something.
No, everybody else isn't. They are,
but it is a multiverse thing, right?
Right. It's essentially I felt exactly like I felt when I read Secret Wars tie-ins, because I'm not reading the main book because it's not coming out, so I'm reading the tie-ins. So those little vignettes were like the tie-ins to it, and then I read the ending with Mr. Fantastic and shit.
I do think the first 2 stories were, I want to say, cast wrong. Not wrong because they weren't bad. I don't mind seeing Wonder Woman as a cowboy, but I think it would have been more interesting to put Bruce Wayne in the Wild West, where he's got to deal with the guns nonstop all around him.
Yeah,
but Wonder Woman with Warlord, where she may be a better warrior than him, and have that kind of tension and will they, won't they, but they probably won't because they got better stuff to do. And then the third one I was kind of fine with. It was about right.
That's the thing. It's because Martian Manhunter is hey, these guys' mind works this way, I got to create a world for them. So he put them right where they could be, so they can kind of so he can snap them out of it at the right time. It wasn't, that's I think it was just done right. And from a more logistical way, storytelling way, I felt we've all seen the Western stories. It's always Batman. We saw it there's a story with Jonah Hex and stuff, the Wonder Woman alone in the Old West, I've never seen. And this gave me that. It's not something I even thought I wanted to see, but she fits right in with her code and her willingness to live among killers and do good among killers,
and take some fools out too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She's not afraid to shoot them in between the eyes. You can't be in the Wild West and be afraid to shoot him in between the eyes or lynch him. Like she has her own rope, you know. So,
oh my god.
Well, yeah. Well, not in the racial sense, but like
I don't know.
Nah, man. Like you watch Once Upon a Time in the West, like all the lynchings there were not black people. They weren't white either, but you know.
Right, that don't make it right. Like, just anti-lynching all around.
You can lynch the bad guys, whether they be white or black or mulatto.
Yeah, the word just means
or octoroon.
It just happened that a lot of black folk tended
okay
done unjustly like that. But
whatever makes you all feel more comfortable about lynching folks is that's between you all and God.
I'm glad I have your approval.
So,
that part out.
Here's another thing that's been annoying me a little bit with these movies lately. And I'm talking about the DC animated stuff. And I get it because I understand how marketing works, but I don't like how they label things Justice League and it's only Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. I feel like that's been happening more often.
Well, I think the way that these Tomorrowverse ones are going is like the Justice League isn't even fully formed yet. Like they're all building towards their formation, which will probably happen after Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Mm.
Is that a Tomorrowverse one too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
It's called Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths?
Yeah.
Will they have people other than the Trinity in it?
Different versions of Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman.
No, but they will because they came
in a tie.
Trying to get me to mess up my laptop eyes. It's like Justice League of all Trinity. It's like three different sets of the Trinity.
At the very least, Flash should be there.
He was there.
Was he though?
I mean, in spirit.
in Speed Force. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not a fan of that. And then here's the thing. So Jay was like, okay, Justice League Warworld, right? And so I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I read Warworld. And so I was like, oh, that should be an interesting flick. And I'm looking at what I'm watching on the screen, and I'm like, this is not Warworld. Like, this is not the only thing that I feel is in common between the Warworld comic book, which is a Superman book or a Superman event, but there are other people in it. But the only thing that is in common is that Mongol is in both of these, and I would even say I'm not sure Mongol's in this.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, that's barely Mongol.
Yeah.
Dude, this
it could be Darkseid.
This dude, but he's not even Darkseid. That's the messed up part where he comes on the screen, and I'm watching the character, and I'm like, okay, so that's supposed to be Mongol, but even in the silhouette, like in the dark, I'm like, that doesn't look like that. Mongol looks weird. They're doing a weird design. Then when he comes in the light, I'm like, this fool is a friggin' like Martian alien, some sort of hybrid. Like, that's not Mongol. Like, Mongol doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, that's like, and the wild part is, if I can tell your character design is messed up from the shadows, it's like, I'm like, wow, like, I don't understand. Like, I don't even, at this point, I'm like, I don't even understand why we're doing Warworld. Like, is someone have to have a quota they have to meet? Like, who?
That's how I feel about every Marvel title, MCU title.
Yeah, Lawrence, I don't understand what in this, our year of our Lord 2023, would make you think that a movie or TV show named after a comic story would have anything to do with that comic story.
Well, I mean, let's
Secret Invasion.
Yeah, listen, but Secret Invasion at the very least is about Skrulls infiltrating the universe, right? Like infiltrating the world.
This is about Mongol and Warworld. There, same.
No,
you just didn't get to see the rest because the movie started at the end of the trilogy.
Like they literally don't even show you Warworld.
No. They're on it, like what they're standing on. Warworld.
Like it's a like.
Every time they look around at stuff, Warworld.
You're in a science closet of Warworld in it. Like
I was just like, look, like I'm just like they like you're telling me like Mongol and Warworld and those two, like you don't see Warworld and you don't really see Mongol. So it's just like he's like so
well, even if
just
you like Mongol, even if you do see him in that bit, he doesn't do Mongol shit. Like it's not what you were expecting from a Warworld. Kind of like what I was, it wasn't what I was expecting from Marvel's Civil War.
See, but again, these are false equivalencies. Like,
no, they're not.
It's like, don't get me wrong. What you're talking about is a difference in scale. Like you're saying, Civil War didn't feel like Civil War because Civil War was between like hundreds of heroes.
Right. Like I literally just read Black Panther 25, and I'm like, man, that would have been a great scene in fucking Civil War, the movie. But no, they didn't. But
from a story perspective, it literally was about heroes fighting over superhero legislation.
Barely a war.
Literally, like the story.
It's a family dispute.
Like the story beats
they weren't even really fighting over the Accords. They were fighting over Bucky. It was a love story.
Yeah, you're hilarious. What I'll say is this: if that third Captain America movie wasn't called Civil War, people would have been like, "Man, they basically just tried to do Civil War." Like you would recognize that it was Civil War.
Well, I would respect that. I would respect that they didn't call it.
If this movie wasn't called Warworld, nobody would be like, "Oh, I think they're doing Warworld." Like no one would say that. It's like, and that's the whole thing where I'm just like, I don't understand it. I don't understand why. Like, it would be different. Like, listen, again, Warworld isn't even that big of a like event where it's like, oh, it makes sense to adopt the name, where you're like, oh, like, it has a buzz or recognition that will, sell this joint. Like, nobody knows what Warworld was. Like, I wouldn't know if I wasn't reading Superman.
But I think as a name, it's in and of itself, it can do that without knowing.
Yeah, they're just telling you where the story takes place, not what it's about.
I don't know.
I know Warworld from Justice League.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that's what I was kind of, the trailer shows you're not going to get that, but that's still what was in my head. It was like the Warworld from Justice League, which, Superman stranded on a planet that Mongol rules.
Yeah.
And is forcing people to fight.
Right.
So this was more Warworld, but it should have been more called Westworld. Season 1.
It is closer to Westworld.
Season 1.
It's closer to Westworld than Warworld, but
Season 1.
Westworld.
Yeah.
Westworld. Yeah. Yeah, so that's interesting. Go ahead, Jack.
I hate to tangent again, but I feel like Young Justice did a better job of actually utilizing the Warworld, and setting it up as a weapon and something that you would want to control. This movie doesn't do a good job of that.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. It's just the other two parts of the trilogy. Like this movie literally just started at the third part.
I guess.
No, they just didn't plan on making they were lazy. Like they're like, we can't, there's too much money to make 3 of these.
Definitely reeks of contractual obligation to me. But
Yeah, but sometimes you can make shit out of lemonade. I mean, lemonade out of shit. Like, is that what that's what you got dealt? Like, you know. But I think this was actually again, I liked it. But again, it does feel like I'm watching the last bit of a trilogy. Everything starts somewhere around the middle here. So
except nothing's really resolved at the end.
no, it's a link. It's a link between those two movies we didn't get and the next movie.
It's not even a link though. That's like it's just space in between. It's like it's filler.
No, well, you have the lady that saved them, and it's
Yeah, the heart.
Yeah.
Honestly, you could go directly from the post-credit scene of Legion of Superheroes to that girl saying, "Hey, we got to do this." Like, you can literally cut from there to there.
But then I wouldn't get a Travis movie. Like, I got a mini Travis movie here.
Who is that guy?
Warlord.
Travis, the Warlord.
Oh, his name is Travis.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, it would have worked better as Elseworlds anthology.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would have been awesome.
Well, technically, you don't need to do Warlord as a whatchamacallit, as a Elseworlds, because it is part of the universe. Like, it's the Hollow Earth.
Yes, like, technically, you are correct.
It's a Hollow Earth that they live in like King Kong.
It's very technical.
Yeah.
I did like the Wonder Woman story.
Like, and the Warlord story.
The Warlord story is okay.
It was badass. What the fuck you talking about? All these people had like great moments. Like Matisse, like dude was fucking tight, and he had that Morning Star in his hand. Like that was tight.
I felt bad for him.
I honestly wasn't feeling that as much either. Like it was like I think the Wizard had like one cool line, but it was lacking compared to where I've seen Warlord before.
Yeah, but if you see have you seen Deimos before?
No, probably not.
That's the coolest we've ever going to get. Deimos, like the Wizard, in a fucking Warlord movie. So for me, like it's 5 out of 5 with that little vignette. And Batman's in it. Like realistically, like Batman and like I was like Batman doesn't need to, this is like you could have like a DC Conan guy.
When you say vignette, like it would have been better as a vignette for one of those like DC movie anthologies.
Right. I get it. Until you realize that fucking Martian Manhunter made this whole thing so that we can fucking get the Justice League back together and ready to fight the Crisis.
Yeah, I didn't care about that.
Yeah, see, you're not a Martian Manhunter fan like that, or a Justice League fan like that.
Okay.
I'm just fucking with. But yeah, look, and it sucks because Travis was a real Travis. There's like when you look at like the credits, it's like who they play, and it's like impersonated. Like they made one the construct of the Martian Manhunter, but Warlord was the real Warlord that got taken too, and it's like they just died. It's not like Marvel Secret Wars where they kept Sugar Man and yeah.
That was also kind of weird to me how we had to fuse with the White Martian.
Yeah,
to be the key.
Yeah, and that's the only like one sensible White Martian in the whole place.
Oh, he's not sensible. He took his mind over.
Then why did he just take all of them over?
Maybe he's not strong enough, but either way, I was just like, this is wrong. Like he messed around and took this fool's mind over, and then literally like shape shifted into him, and I'm like, damn, like that is messed up. Like this fool's autonomy is completely gone now, and I'm like, he just like, and then it's not even like he's like, well, let me go.
A lot. The White Martians have done a lot worse. All right, so don't it's like saying like, poor Nazi has to be in a cell with bread and water.
Hey man, I'm not trying to do trying to sit here and be like, oh, okay, well, justify atrocities.
It's one
it's
over
like
millions, like literally the last one in the universe.
Like they could have had Miss Martian, right? If you need a white Martian, that sensible,
right? But she doesn't exist in this universe. He's the last one.
Well, no, he got those from another dimension. I thought.
No, but
they're from this dimension.
So white Martian.
I thought those white Martians
Miss
were
Martian's a white Martian, not a green one.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So
all the white Martian in the movie where he got them from another dimension.
Yeah. So
I mean, he could have just had Miss Marvel cloned her to have his little army of white Martians, but have that one main Miss Martian to putty herself with Martian Manhunter.
I don't think she'd want to do that.
She might.
Well, look, guess who else didn't want to do it? That one dude.
Nah, but Miss Martian was innocent. That guy wasn't innocent.
I mean, I'm like, Miss Martian might have messed around and made a choice to try to help whatever the greater good is. But yeah, ugh.
Yeah, no, that guy deserved what he got.
Yeah, I guess.
It's war in there. It's war. World.
It is, in fact, war. World. Like,
world.
Right. World.
Word.
So, what else do you have to say about this before we rate it?
I really like the Superman story.
Oh yeah,
okay. Yeah, I really like that one a lot. It felt like a Twilight Zone episode, not just the look, but even like how it played out. Like it reminds me of the one where the dude's like, "I'm secretly the alien with the third hand," and then the other guy's like, "Hey, me too." And he's got the eye. It's kind of cool, and then have that ironic ending, but
I really did. Like I thought the fact that it was black and white was ambiance, and then they're like, I didn't even notice there wasn't any color.
Yeah,
shit. Okay, so there's your tweet.
No, but it's just it worked. Like even Superman, like they're trying to figure out who they are, what they do, and he's trying to push them in that direction. And he finally gets Martian Manhunter, that is. And then this one's like, yeah, it's like when they're trying to get Superman to kill, and he's just not doing it, like, and they're all kind of pushing that, and he's like, nah, and it just cements, like, again, it's one of those things that says, like, they fucked up picking Snyder, man, to do a Superman story. Like, it's just they're rubbing it in his face with all these, like. I really love that. Like, you find a way creatively to make him not kill, and it's just, that's what Superman's about. That's about writing what Superman. that's what writing Superman is about.
It's true. It's true. All right, y'all ready to rate?
Yes.
Okay, Jay. What would you rate Justice League Warworld?
I'll give it a 2. The side stories were interesting. It would have been better off as an anthology and not trying to push it into their main narrative. Like, that was a big mistake.
Okay, that's fair. Ozcore, what would you rate Justice League Warworld?
I'm gonna go with 3. I do like some of the side stories. It actually starts to fall apart when you try to combine it to make it part of the grander story or whatever that they're trying to tell. But I wouldn't recommend people buy it. Like I don't even think it's going to be on Max. I think it streams on for free. I didn't see anything about it being on Max. So if it is, it hasn't been announced. It should be. It's their thing, but it might not. I don't know. Wherever you can stream it for free, I would try that.
Okay, cool. Moses Magnum, what do you rate Justice League Warworld?
I give it a 4 out of 5. I do feel like even if the little vignettes start at the beginning of what their little journey is. Like, I think the movie should have had at least a bookends of Warworld, of what they decided to, like, at least how, because they really did change how Warworld, what Warworld is. You know, it's not like, you know, a Sakar Gladiator type world that we're used to. So they're doing it different. They're doing it more like Westworld. So a little bookend beginning maybe before the title screen can it kind of explain that they're changing it and why they're doing it, you know, or you know how it connects to the movie before a little. I don't mind being thrown in the middle, but give me that before the credits. That's just the cold open at this point, you know. So that would have made it a 5. But everything I like, you know, Travis was good in it. Like in the Superman story, I liked a lot. Wonder Woman story, I liked a lot. Yeah, I did catch myself saying, like, when are we gonna get to the Warworld stuff? But I was enjoying them anyway, so I'm like, okay, like, yeah, it became clear that they're simulations and they're stuck in these, and you know I started asking questions like, what are they doing with these superheroes in particular? Because they're just showcasing these 3 in the Warworld event. So, yeah, it did, you know. All that I think knocks down a point for me, because I do like the animation, the frame rate, they did everything. You know, I've had issues with the cutting corners with DC in particular, and they've been doing pretty good the last few. So it moves smooth, it looks good. I like that dark outline. I mean, 4 out of 5.
All right. Here it is. I give it a 12. You know, at the end of the day, it just didn't grab me. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to say other than that. It just didn't grab me. Like, also too, it's like I just feel bad for the folks that may potentially buy this looking for a Justice League story, and you know, they're gonna kind of get a Trinity story. You know, so it's like that bothers me a little bit. But yeah, so with that said, 2.
Do you really think people are going to be looking at this hoping they got the Red Tornado?
I mean, not necessarily Red Tornado, but I would not, you know, if it says Justice League on the cover, I would not be surprised if they're looking for like a Green Lantern and a Flash and an Aquaman.
When the green light did shine, I was thinking, oh, Green Lantern's coming out. But
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, I get it. They're trying to stick with a brand and a theme.
But
at the end of the day, you got to give the people, like, you got to take into account people's expectations to a degree.
Yeah, especially the people that working on it, like Butch Lukic and was it Homeboy from the animated series too, and Sam Regis. Like they worked on, you know, on Justice League Unlimited. You know, but you know, again, they also had probably a different budget. You know, they're lucky this didn't get canceled by the dude from Discovery. You know, and they could have been sitting on this movie with fucking Batgirl. You know,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, we don't know. Maybe that's probably why it came out the way it is, or on top of that, it's yeah, I don't know what else. Like it could have just been worse. You know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, you know, I guess we'll take what we get.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, and it's connecting, you know, maybe after, you know, when you talk about like Justice League Unlimited, like they still just had at least the first like Justice League was more, it was a little bigger than just the 3. It still had like 5 or 6 members, you know, 7 maybe.
Oh yeah, 7 people.
Yeah, but they also had like 20 episodes to make everybody shine. Here they had to cut down a trilogy to one movie. Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and then they did that across like what Justice League was 3 seasons, and then it turned into Unlimited and had another 4 or something. Yeah, so you're talking about 7 seasons to showcase the entire DC like heroes gallery, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas here is again they cut down the trilogy to the last bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. But it's just one of those things where I don't know. From my perspective, I'm like, we don't get like another season of Young Justice, but we get this, you know? Like, I just don't understand that. Like that, and I'm certain that Young Justice is like an episode of Young Justice probably has a higher budget than, you know, costs more to make than this does. So maybe that plays a role into it, you know, but I don't know, man.
At this point, you could just have the AI animated, right? Like the animators aren't on strike.
I'm just in my mind. It's like you probably could get a better. You probably could make a better movie just making like Young Justice movies. You know?
No. But you talking about price? Like if it costs that much to make an episode, it's gonna take more to make it. I'm telling you, just get the AI, man. That's the way of the future.
I guess.
I'm all for AI now. Because they realize that I'm at the poverty level and try to give me Medicare and try to cut my health insurance. Because they're like, well, this much of that, there's no way this person can really afford this health insurance. So then they cut my shit out, and then so I have to fix it. And they're like, oh yeah, it was a computer glitch. And they're like, oh, the computer understands that I have a lot of expenses and I should be taken care of free medically. You know, but you guys don't, so they had to fix it. And you know, it's like, you know what, AI is where it's at. Fuck the writers.
Damn. Just like that, huh?
The AI knows, man. The AI knows. Although eventually the AI will figure out that, you know what, maybe we don't need to keep him alive. It's like it costs too much medically.
There it is. All right. Y'all ready to get into some comics?
Yeah.
Comic book
Review.
comic book
Like
Review.
well, not like that, but like
Okay. Mo's like, I'm out. Mo said, comics. No, thank you. What'd you say, Oz?
He didn't read it.
Oh. Well. All right. So, Hellfire Gala, X-Men Hellfire Gala 2023, #1. This is basically the first book that begins the fall of X, which is the next, I don't know what the right word is, the next, like, theme for the or season for the X-Men comic books. We started with the Dawn, then we went into the Reign of X, I think it was Dawn. Oh no, actually it was something between there. Something Dawn, then the something, then the Reign. Oh, maybe it was House. No, it wasn't House. But I don't know. But either way, it's like, we went from the Reign of X into, now we're going to the fall. Oh no, you know what it was? It was the Destiny. It was the Dawn, the Reign, and the Destiny of X. And then now we're in the fall of X. And so the X-Men books have kind of been building up to this point where Orchis, which is the organization that is dedicated to bringing down the mutants, it's been building to them attacking the mutants at this big gala and enacting their plan to really take all of Krakoa down a peg And so they enact their plan, and it pretty much goes horribly for all the mutants. Like all types of terrible things happen to all different types of mutants and humans alike. So where should we begin? Who wants to start talking about it?
Okay. I know I should have pre-produced for this, but we should definitely start with what the fuck Cyclops is wearing. Like, I don't know if you can see. Ah, shit.
Now you gotta move it over. So you don't like that?
No, what?
You don't like that?
I didn't even realize that was Cyclops, so he took it off.
That's the new hotness.
No, this is the worst.
Really?
It's just Racer X trying to be Mr. Sinister or Magneto. Like it's uninspired, and yeah, like they had the event, the Hellfire Gala, like live event, and it's like I'm sure, man, that they should have just drawn those. Like those people probably look better.
Then Cyclops, or you're talking about all of
them?
Yeah,
then Cyclops.
I actually like that outfit. Like,
of course, you can't see.
I can see. Listen, and here's the thing. It's like, don't get me wrong, it's not the best Hellfire outfit that Cyclops has worn, but it's a nice fit. Like
it's the hood.
Outside of
like, the hood is what tears everything apart.
Really?
Right.
You don't like the ruby quartz ruby?
I don't.
No, and the X. Yeah.
I guess it's a tribute to Havoc. And the
what
wings, the spikes on the edge.
Oh.
Like, everything falls apart with this headpiece.
So you feel like if he was like, if it was just his head, like if it was just his head with his normal shades or whatever, it would look better?
Yeah.
I don't like that his cape starts like at his shoulder. Like in front.
That's like some Shazam shit.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I looked at it, and I know for me, I was like, nah. I thought it was kind of cool. Like, again, it's not the best fit.
I think Jumbo's been spending too much time blowing the lighthouse keeper, and he didn't do his outfit right.
That is what Jumbo Cardace is doing. That's too funny. So okay, well, look, let's start. Like, it's so funny because when you were like, we need to start with, and I was like, oh, like I had an idea of what I thought you were going to say, and it definitely was not that. I did not think we were going to be talking about Cyclops' outfit like that. I personally, the thing that struck me as kind of wild is Kamala Khan's, like, the way they drew her initially. And like the book has like a lot of
inconsistent artwork, and it's not all
it's got like 10 artists working on it, right? Each one took
right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's inconsistent because it's like a whole bunch of different people.
But it's also not good.
Well, it depends on what part you're talking about, right? You feel like none of this art's good?
None of it stood out as good to me.
Dude, like there's some like real hitters as artists on this. Like I don't know. Like I wouldn't go so far as to say none of it's good. It is like it moves around, obviously, because like I said, it's a whole.
Well, no, I'm just saying I just didn't like none of it that I read was like, oh man, this is a good art. Like more of it stood up where it's more of it stood out where it's like, this is terrible.
Okay. Well,
do you guys see inside the word bubbles?
No, they come out
not on your screen. No, like you have to really like.
It's your whole screen.
You have to no. You have to upload to your computer. Like this is what pre-production is. You upload it so you can share it, like Oz did right here.
No, I just thought it was weird that you record and it like blanks out the word bubbles.
It doesn't blank out. It's just the contrast between the white and the black. It blurs it out. But yeah. So this is what you were showing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not thrilled about the art, but like this image has actually been controversial for this book.
Really?
Yeah.
Some people were saying like this is whitewashing the character.
Yeah, she is. She's not as dark as she usually is.
And some people complain that the robe was too short because usually when they resurrect, they get bigger robes. So they think, oh, they're sexualizing.
No, that's a lie. Normally, when they
that's the opposite.
They get like they come out naked, and if they get a robe, it's like extremely short.
Oh, and that's the other thing. That's the other side of the controversy. Some people are complaining that why didn't she come out naked like all the other?
Right.
And somebody throw a robe on her and stuff. Like her hair is like she's all dry, like she's been out of it for hours.
Yeah.
So there's been like all kind of controversies from like several angles. Like it's not respectful enough, or it's trying to. I don't know. It's been weird. This whole book
the color is light, but that has been happening for so long that I guess I'm used to it.
Yeah,
that's not okay.
I didn't like
work with different colors, like they just turn out different colors sometimes.
There's a clear difference between her skin tone and the white woman.
Right. But the fact is, though, it's like,
but it's also like a different art style. Like
it only happens.
That's the other thing. The art does like these images don't look like it looks like a totally different person than this one.
Right. That's the one I hate. Like that one, that one right there is like that's ridiculous. Like it looks like friggin' if somebody took like a Chris Bachalo drawing and like stretched it.
Do people?
Which is probably what happened. Like they're probably swiping and AI say, "Oh, make it in proportionate to this character."
I don't know. It's just not
like
good.
This other picture where she's like puckering her mouth like a butthole. Like I don't like that.
She's got the claw hands.
Yeah, like pointy fingers. And a little bit nitpicky, but since we're on it, like I didn't see it when I read it.
This heavyweight champion looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like there are some pretty good images in this
except
book,
for that one there. You don't look good in that one there.
No.
Oh, yeah. Well, this one looks weird.
He looks like he's a villain in like Spawn number 8.
Like Cyclops' hair is doing something weird there. But then in this panel, like, look, this is nice. This is cute.
Yeah,
So
it's not bad.
Even Cyclops looks almost like a man in this image.
Oh Lord. But yeah.
And then all the text. I hate this train. I hate this.
What? This is
a Hickman train, right? He started this.
That's every comic book has that just about, right? It's just like it's a recap page.
It's a horrible page. I hate this book. This book is stupid.
You hate the whole book? Why do you hate the whole book?
Well, first of all, look at all this. Look at all this text. Look at you got something really cool happening in this background being covered up by all this text bubbles.
Swipe up real quick. All the way up to Jumbo.
Ugly Jumbo or heavyweight champion Jumbo?
Yeah, that one too. Okay. So he doesn't have hair, and then in the next page he's got hair.
He does?
Yeah.
It looks like it because there's like a palm tree or something.
No. The next one down. Next one down when he's kissing the lighthouse keeper.
Oh, yeah. It's got that little
He has a little swirl. That's funny. That's what happens when you have a whole bunch of different artists. They're using different character references.
Right, but where's the editor? Like, it's one editor. Like, you're not using 17 editors, you know?
Yeah, why not put the word bubble there?
They're not talking because they're too busy. Like,
how many cool costumes are we missing because of all this right here?
I actually did have a question, Lawrence. What happened to the Stepford Cuckoos?
What do you mean?
Like, wouldn't they normally be doing the announcements?
That's who they are. That's who that is.
Oh, what happened to them? They didn't look like that before.
They're dressed up.
They're just dressed up for Hellfire Gala. That's all.
Aren't they missing like two of them?
No, they're 5.
Yeah, there's all 5. Here's the arm for one in the back. That's 1. This is number 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Look, when remember when Dawn of X started, there were only 3. Or I'm sorry, when the Krakoa era started, there was only 3, and then they ended up resurrecting the other 2.
But didn't one of them want to leave?
But she still goes to the Hellfire Gala.
You mean did one of them want to leave after they got resurrected?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that. I remember one of them wanted to leave before all of that.
But heck, so it's just like the Met Gala, yes.
Yeah.
It's like the Met Gala, but for
mutants.
Krakoa
And Fisk.
Yeah. And Fisk.
Why is Fisk there? Is he mutant now too?
He's married to a mutant.
Yeah, he's married to Typhoid Mary.
Yeah. That's who that was? All right.
And Typhoid Mary and Fisk they asked for asylum on Krakoa after the events of Devil's Reign. So like Fisk basically had to get out of Dodge quick, so he jumped on a boat with Typhoid Mary and they sailed to Krakoa. And Krakoa's for all mutants. Typhoid Mary's a mutant, even though she doesn't really claim it much. But it made sense for them at that moment, and so they're on Krakoa.
Okay, so the whole Miss Marvel thing is pointless. It all it does is invalidate like what just happened in Amazing 26?
Dark Web.
No, where she died in Amazing 26, wasn't it?
That was part of Dark Web. That was the end of Dark Web.
Oh, whatever.
Look, no one is trying to keep Dark Web alive except you, Mo.
But then
they need to know, like, it was a shit fucking event. She is not. I don't want to call her a shit character, but her series was shit. They didn't even do it in her own series, So they tried to do it, and I don't know what the fuck they were trying to do with it, and then bringing her back.
But then they had a whole one shot of her funeral,
right?
That just came out, when we knew this was gonna happen. I don't like that. She's more concerned about the fact that she finds out she has the mutant gene, and then the fact that she has been brought to life, like she was killed. And she's basically just a clone at this point, because you don't unless one of the 5 can bring down a soul and put it is she a clone? Is she really Miss Marvel?
Those aren't real.
There's some heavy questions that this chick should be dealing with, and she's just like, I don't know if I'm gonna tell my parents I'm a mutant too.
I don't think they care about stuff like that. None of the X-Men that come back are like, oh, what happened to my soul?
Yeah, but that's because the X-Men come back all the time, even before the Resurrection Protocols. This is Miss Marvel's first time, and she's not shocked by the fact that she's back. She's
a lot more tenacious than you give her credit for.
When you say tenacious, I'm hearing stupid. She's not willing to ask the questions about what the hell is going on.
She doesn't need to know. She knows she died. She knows if she wants details, she can ask Spider-Man, and she knows she's back. Like, the soul, I don't think she cares about. I don't think that's a concern for her.
Kamala Khan is supposed to be a religious character.
Marvel, yeah, but again, religion is fake. Like, she got proof. She got proof. So, yeah, if anything, she has proof now.
How does she have proof?
Because she doesn't have she didn't have a soul. She's not worried about a soul. She's back. She didn't even
doesn't prove anything. That just proves that the real Kamala Khan actually died. Her soul did whatever it's gonna do. This is just a husk with her memories. It's a. She might as well be a robot.
You know, that's just faith talking. That's all.
Right. And well, this is the character with the faith. Like that's
right. Now she doesn't have it anymore because she's like, it's not real.
But she acts like she does.
No, everybody's. She's not even saying she's a Muslim. Everybody else is saying it.
What?
Wait, no, like in this book, like,
she's not talking. Her main concern isn't about her religion in that moment.
Like the chick from the future.
But that doesn't mean
you're a Muslim, and she's like, oh yeah, I guess I am. Yeah,
and she's also like questioning, do I come out as a mutant? I'm reading that like, well, that's stupid. That's like saying, do I come out as being from Guatemala? Do I come out like they have their own country at this point? It's not like how it was in the 70s.
But people are trying to kill you for having not being in your country.
It's different.
Like, did you read the Hellfire Gala when like they framed all the mutants and started killing them and kicking them off the planet? Like,
yeah.
Did you not get to that?
She was questioning that before that point.
No, but that's the thing is that shit's like the whole reason Orcus exists is because mutants are having their own country, you know. Yeah, like, and they're trying to like they're actually wanting to leave the planet, and they won't let them. They rather kill them.
Real quick, I do want to address Heck, who asks, "Is Jesus a mutant?" And yes, in the X-Men books, Jesus is a mutant.
I mean, they play with the idea, but nobody knows.
Yeah, I thought Sinister like directly talks about him.
Yeah, in that first
like from Nazareth, the one from Nazareth he mentioned.
Yeah, but look, he wasn't there.
Marvel gave Santa Claus the Infinity Gauntlet at one point. Like
Sinister wasn't there.
Also, when did Professor X back up her memories?
Cerebro did it.
Like automatically. Cerebro. He does like it just does it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an automatic process. There's no one like at a desk, like
it's like your phone with a cloud.
Punching in info. Like Cerebro just does it automatically.
How often does it back people up?
Every day.
It doesn't back people up every day. I'm pretty sure they say that it usually happens like once a week because it's about like it's backing people up every day, but it can't back up every person every day. I think it like once a week, everybody basically gets like a version of their psyche.
X Cloud sync.
Yeah. Also, too, I should mention that X-Men, not every X-Man, but X-Men have addressed the idea of like the soul and the whole idea of resurrection. Like that actually Nightcrawler series was all about that.
Yeah, but
because Nightcrawler
he's what's the nice way of saying zealot?
He's like Exodus.
Why is he a zealot? Nightcrawler's not a zealot, he's just Catholic. It's not the same thing.
I would consider him a zealot.
Why? What is he doing that makes him like? What's the zealot-like behavior that you get from Nightcrawler?
He's literally looking at Resurrection and being like, I don't know.
Sounds like a zealot to me.
Yeah, he's literally asking. He's asking the questions that a religious person would ask. Like, wait a minute. Like, if like, are we cheapening life and existence by doing this? He's asking the questions about the soul. There's nothing wrong with asking those questions.
He's
there's nothing wrong with it. He's just makes you a zealot.
Yeah, he's stalling.
That's not zealot behavior.
A zealot would stop it.
Right.
Look,
exactly.
Hey, again, they call the book Fall of X. You don't know who's in charge of Orcus. He wasn't at the gala.
Damn.
Yeah, Azella would try to stop it. A Catholic would just make you feel bad about doing it.
Right.
And then touch a little boy.
Which there is an entire
Speaking
book.
of traitors, I hope Firestar is going to be okay.
Man,
she'll be fine.
I don't know, man.
She gets killed and brought back.
Well, they can't bring her back now.
They can't do it right now.
Yeah, right now.
The 5 survived, didn't they?
I don't think we
say again.
We don't know if
the 5 did survive, but we don't know where they are.
Professor X still has Cerebro.
Yeah, but Orcus has the headquarters.
Yeah, they have the pods.
You need the DNA, I guess.
So yeah, the resurrection process right now is definitely suspect. Like it's all in flux. It's not to say that it can't.
They're definitely
go back.
They're definitely not going to bring back all the people that got taken out, right?
I'm not sure.
Not at first. It'll probably be like House of M, where you get like 188 and then build from there.
Like I saw this book as a cleaning house. In fact, the part that I really liked is kind of like this book takes you on an emotional roller coaster. Like they announced the new X-Men team, and I'm like, these idiots. That's your new X-Men team.
Juggernaut there. Like Juggernaut's not a mutant.
And then like next panel, boom, wiped out, all gone.
Yeah,
like okay, all right. Oh, you can't bring them back. All right, this book is getting good. And then now that's when it started getting good. But we're already like 50 pages into this book at that point.
It is 78. So like if it was a 20
was really
page 12.
Saddened by the attack on the X-Men team.
If they really deserve to be X-Men, they wouldn't have got taken out like that.
Hey, well, look, none of those really, and I'm saying that just because Jubilee's in it and Jay's here. None of those really needed to be
Jubilee and Cannonball. Isn't Jay a Cannonball fan?
Less so, yes, but yes, I am a Cannonball fan.
I got the new team up if you guys want to.
Oh yeah,
it's really unfortunate because I like that set of X-Men. I think would actually be pretty interesting.
Juggernaut, but he doesn't fit.
Dude, and Dazzler's outfit is amazing.
Yeah, but that was her Gala outfit. Like,
come on, man.
I don't like the mask.
You look at that Dazzler outfit and you're like, that's amazing. And then you look at Cyclops' outfit and you're like, that's terrible. Like it's it literally looks like it was designed by the same person.
It was Jumbo.
A person can design two things and one of them suck and one of them be great. Look at what you call the guy. I don't remember my dude's name, but the guy that made Mega Man. Like Mega Man is great. Mighty Number 9 sucks ass. It's like
the design for Mighty Number 9 is not bad. It's just the game wasn't great.
I don't like X-23's mask.
Oh. Yeah, I can understand that.
But is that for the gala or was that for?
Yeah, no. All of this is for the gala. Everybody's dressed for the gala. This is not new costumes. This is those are they're because yeah. So that's all for the gala. So
why does X-23 have the white hair?
That story is fucking crazy with Sync and everything. Oh, dude, Larry, like story time with Larry, a new segment.
Tell me the name of the story and I'll check it out.
No, it's worth Larry telling it to you is worth it.
He's gonna tell it wrong.
No, he's not. Trust me, I double checked. Because I was already reading stuff similar, and I'm like, and then he filled in the gaps. Go, Larry.
No, I mean so yeah, it's not X-23 per se. You know what I'm saying? Or I guess it is. But so basically, the story is that in the Hickman X-Men, they had a time where they sent Darwin, Sync, and X-23 or Wolverine actually at the time into the vault. And the vault is basically, I don't know if you remember the vault, but it's basically a like compressed.
Assume he does. Assume he doesn't.
Right. It's a compressed or it's a like its own shielded reality where time is sped up inside of it. They sent those people in specifically because both Darwin and um and Wolverine can survive for whatever amount of time they would be in there because Darwin adapts and Wolverine's healing factor, and then Sync can actually sync up with either of them, so he would be able to survive as well. And they sent him in there to do like reconnaissance for the children of the vault that are inside this place. They're like post-human people that every so often they come out the vault and try to like kill the mutants, and they have like all these different generations of advancements because time is sped up in there. Basically there was a point where they got discovered by the children in the vault because they were like trying to remain hidden and just kind of do reconnaissance. They had to try to get out, and the children of the vault were so strong that the only person that made it out was Sync. And during that time inside the vault, they had spent basically a lifetime and a half inside the vault together. These three people, friggin' Darwin gets captured. Friggin' Sync and Wolverine end up having a whole relationship, and while they're trying to get out, basically Wolverine gets killed, and Sync is the only one that's able to actually make it out. So when they when he comes back, he's telling the rest of the Krakoans hey, this is what happened, and he comes back basically all like amped up and different because he's been living all these lifetimes and like being like in these harsh conditions. They resurrect Wolverine, but because she was inside the vault, they don't get the backup. So the backup that they have of her is before their whole time together. So this dude is like in love with her, but she has no memory of that, right? And so it's a wild situation because he remembers and he understands that this person isn't the person that he was with or whatever. So he gives her space and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, everybody knows like, oh, like, man, it's kind of messed up. So there's a point where Forge goes into the vault because he's trying to rescue Darwin. And they find the signature of their teammate. They go into the vault. They find like the thing that Darwin's encased in, and when they open it up, it turns out it's actually X-23 or Wolverine. You know what I'm saying? The one that was in the vault. So when he realizes that it wasn't Darwin, it's actually her, he rescues her out of the vault, and now you have two Wolverines or two Laura Kinneys or whatever. The one that was in the vault all that time is the one that has the gray streak, and the one that is actually like that has the whole relationship with Sync, and is why you had them like they picked those two to be the new like core of the X-Men team, because it's like they literally have more experience as far as like combat experience, fighting, all that kind of stuff than just about everybody else on Krakoa, because they've lived like these long lives that were compressed in time or whatever. So, but that's why she has the friggin' the streak and whatnot. And there's a whole thing where they were like, "Oh, like people were kind of like, oh, what's going to happen? Are they going to kill one of the Wolverines?"
Okay, so
because they're like, they had a rule, huh?
There's two X-23s right now.
So the one that's on the X-Men, or that was on the X-Men that's with Sync, goes by Talon, and then
Right, but it's two Laura Kinneys.
Technically, there's two Laura Kinneys. One is much older, and the other one is younger. The younger one goes by Wolverine, and then the older one goes by Talon. And they kind of just stay out of each other's way. Like, they kind of come to a mutual. They don't dislike each other, but they're kind of like, it's weird that
one can't
we're technically the same person, but
like one can't understand the other one for sure.
I mean, so it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know that they don't understand each other. I think they're just like, we're different.
Yeah.
And it's true, like they are different. Which is
like when there was two Icemen from that team when the team
got
forward, like one was gay and one didn't know he even liked girls. Which really, like, if knowing that, if you watch Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends now, it changes everything. Like, I'm not being funny. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. We're like, come on, Peter, what do you gotta hang out with her for? Come on, let's the guys. Let's go get a burger. Like, let's get some hot dogs. Put some warm sausages between buns.
Yeah. Yeah. But it, that Iceman dynamic was definitely different because Iceman was super weirded out by the fact that for a while that, there was a version of him that's gay, and he's like, I'm not gay, but then he ended up coming to terms with that. So Hex says, oh yes, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends have some undertones. That's funny.
Well, look, after knowing what you know about Iceman now, it really, like, I mean, I have a terrible gaydar, so I didn't see it, but after reading those comics, I see it now.
So, but yeah, all that to say, I feel like that X-Men team would have been an interesting group.
But you didn't answer my Juggernaut thing.
Oh, I mean, Juggernaut, and is like ended up being on the teams, like, and it's like, I mean,
but he's not a mutant.
He's not a mutant, but there are other humans on Krakoa.
Yeah, but I mean, they're banging a mutant. Like,
he's Xavier's brother, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah, but not by blood.
It's all about family.
Like, his family tried to kill him. I'd be like, "Fuck you, get off my island."
But he he reformed since then. Like, Juggernaut has been an X-Men before the Krakoa era.
I know. I don't like it. I don't like how he's a mutant in the movies. Like,
well, he's not a mutant here.
He's a mutant in Deadpool. Like,
is he what?
He's a mutant in Deadpool 2.
Oh yeah, but
I don't like that. And here's like, I don't want him there either. Like, he could be reformed and be on the mainland and then help the people out there, the people that resisted the psychic attack.
So he should be like an Avenger?
Yeah. Which I think he has been at one point, right? If not him, the other one, the M2 one.
The which one too?
The M2. Like,
oh yeah, you're right. In that, you're in that universe, MC2 or whatever. Yeah. I think he was an Avenger then. That's funny. Man, you took it back. But yeah, man.
This is Larry. Like, this ain't Nerdist podcast.
So, what else do you all want to say about Hellfire?
The best
Gala?
art in the book and the best part of the book was the Wolverine page.
The Wolverine page.
Yeah. When it's like they're talking about the people with the psychic resistance, and he just shows up, and then you just hear, he doesn't say nothing other than resist.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got a whole army of elite fucking Orcus operatives.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, all right, just like we planned, everybody take a limb. And then they all fucking die. Like, the only way they can do it, they can fuck them up, is like if everybody takes one limb. Like, and they got enough people to go by fingers at this point. And you just see a silhouette of him fucking everybody up. Very old school.
Yeah, it's wild because there like this book ended up being a little bit better than I expected, only because
Really?
I really thought like I knew everything that was going to happen in this book, and there were some things that actually did surprise me, but at the same time, I was kind of like, there's some aspects of it that I was just like, I don't know, that could have like, especially considering like like there's a lot of little threads that come together in this book, and it's like, oh, okay, so this is where we're at, right? Like the Moira McTaggart thing just really feels like a wasted opportunity. like they like it could have been a really like the trajectory of that character felt like it could have been really interesting, and I there's a part of me that still feels like Jonathan Hickman had an interesting end game for her that kind of got derailed by the fact that people were like, oh, let's just hang around this era.
This is where it got like a little interesting. You see like the classic comic style, and then like more of an old school slash, I don't know what to call it, comic style. Like this is one of my favorite pages.
Yeah,
this artist.
Yeah,
like
or like
yeah.
like a Norse story type.
Yeah, with that, like it's got the like the dots and all that. It's like Professor X right here. This is just good.
Yeah, I agree. And like even like the coloring, like the atmospheric aspect of things, that was a great page too with Rogue right there. Like, yeah.
Did you know what they were gonna do with Kitty? Like before you read, did you know they were gonna do that?
I did not know that. No, like Kitty, like her whole like arc is pretty interesting because like she hasn't been able to go through the Krakoan gates for some time now.
Is that did that happen with
even after she got resurrected?
Right.
That I thought that happened after Franklin. No.
No. It's been pretty much since the beginning, actually. Like, for some reason. Yeah.
And it sucks that it's the same artist that was doing the good pages.
Bootlegging comics here, man. We're trying to help the comic book industry.
Oh, okay, here, look, it's gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like she hasn't been able to use the gates from the beginning. Like that was part of why she was on the Marauders and on the ship, because she literally has to sail or fly to Krakoa. She can't just.
She's an Inhuman.
That's what it is. But no,
she could have like a deviant gene.
Hey,
no, I mean really, because when
that's the whole thing they did with Kamala Khan, where she's like she has both genes.
Yeah, if you have the X gene, you can use the gate. She can't use the gate until they prevent the people with X genes from using the gate.
Yeah, I mean, and people have felt, like there's a lot of speculation on what the deal is, and but people kind of feel like it might have something to do with her phasing powers, but we don't know. But now she can use them, and like I know you all didn't get to read X-Men 25.
No, by you all you mean Mo and Oz, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, you got to read it.
And by didn't get to, you mean didn't want to, right?
And by Mo and Oz, you mean Oz, right, Jay?
Wait, yeah, apparently.
Well, no, I still didn't read it, but I assume that's what you meant.
No, I assumed you didn't read it. Like,
yeah, no,
it's X-Men.
I've been reading X-Men Red. All right, like,
yeah, but that's X-Men Red. That's written by what's that guy? Who's the writer for Red?
X-Men Red's written by
the dude that did Dark Web. The dude that did
yeah.
Yeah.
That did what?
He did the Mary Jane and Black Cat Dark Web tie-in. And I
Right.
think
Oh man.
Like you're not you're not reading any of the Jerry Dugan stuff.
look, I read this one and I'm like, "Ew." And I read the Dark Web X-Men tie-in. That's Gary Dugan.
I don't know what that is. I don't
It's
think
Gary-
I've heard of Dark Web.
It's pronounced Gary, by the way.
Was it
In any
pronounced Gary?
case,
Yeah.
in any case, yes. I read it and I love what they're doing with the kitty.
Shadow. Yeah. Like
now.
that arc is
after
crazy.
this one, right?
I did buy it, by the way. I bought it. I just haven't read it yet.
Okay. But yeah, her, like I've said this before and I'll say it again. I love seeing her go all out.
Yeah.
And she goes a little extra this time too.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's awesome.
Hold on. Okay.
Al Ewing.
I have
That's
a
who's
question.
writing.
I have a question.
What's your question?
Sinister, he's always had that red diamond on his head, right?
Mm-hmm.
This other Sinister has a clubs. Are there four of them, each with a different, like, is this the Royal Flush Gang for Marvel?
Yes.
It's not the Royal Flush Gang, but they do have there are four, versions of Sinister, each with a different suit.
I thought the diamond was like actually something.
It is. It's a diamond.
But like, you made a clone with the club and then the heart and okay.
Yeah.
Like
basically what the story that they're going with now is that the original Sinister made 4 clones, and there was a clone for each suit, and they kind of pursued in different areas of interest.
Why does Shadowcat have a nasal strip?
What now? What is it?
I'm looking at
does she have like
25 and she's got a nasal
she has like
strip.
She has a bandage over her nose?
Yeah,
is that what it is?
I understand it's kind of a flashback, but then like when she's at Kamala Khan's house, she has another nasal strip. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I guess that's a flashback too, because current day she's wearing the same dress she had in the gala.
Okay.
Oh,
listen,
she messes some fools up in this book. Y'all should read this book.
You are hilarious.
The dude with the gun, like that. Oh, that's
it's an amazing book, man. It's like that's why I was like, you all might, if you have the chance, you should read it because, it's a great follow up. And so this era is going to be
I wanted to read all of them, but I have problems with my account.
I understand.
So I'm pretty much locked out of the rest of Fall of X.
Oh, that sucks.
On Comixology?
On
Comixology?
Oh, yeah.
What's wrong with your account?
I don't know. I got to call customer service tomorrow and figure out what the fuck.
Should have got them physical. You can't get locked out of physical.
Yeah, but I also don't have any place to put physical.
Now you can just throw it in the garbage after.
Damn. It's not right. It's not right. At least give them to the library.
I think they only take trades.
Yeah.
Is that true?
That might be true.
I know when I go to the library, I can only check out. They only have trades to check out.
That's because the employee steals the individual issues
and gets them graded, and sells them on eBay.
Right. But yeah. So I don't know. What do you all think? Is there something else y'all want to say about? I mean, what do y'all think of the whole thing with Professor X and psychically huh?
I had a question about Kamala Khan. Did she end up dying after all again?
No,
she's getting a 5-issue mini.
Oh, okay.
Written by the
in
actress.
September.
Oh yeah.
Her book's being written by the actress that plays her on TV.
Look, it can't be worse than the books written by actual comic book writers.
So everything I hear about her is that she's an actual fan.
Look, and again, like those comics weren't good. So
which comics weren't good?
The ones leading up to her death.
You mean the Spider-Man comics?
The Miss Marvel. She had her own series before that.
What but the series ended
those were
a while
good.
before. Yeah, they weren't bad books.
Not the ones I read up until her death.
Oh, the ones I read were amazing. And
but you read Champions, right? Was that what you did?
I did read Champions also.
Oh, okay.
But when they had I was reading when they had made Kamala's Law. I mean, I read Champions before that, but I was reading Miss Marvel when they did Kamala's Law.
Okay.
So yeah,
I mean, we did get our new Warriors comic.
No, they friggin'
like we got Power Pack,
and no one wanted that.
Larry, you think we're gonna get a Talon card on Marvel Snap?
I don't think so. I feel like that's too deep of a cut. Like
Agent 13 isn't?
Or Jeff?
Jeff is a deep cut. Agent 13's not as deep, I don't think, as Talon or Jeff.
Or
like Agent 13 was freaking in a MCU movie.
She's the power broker.
Which one?
Friggin', she was in
Winter
Soldier.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right. And don't get me wrong. Look, Jeff might show up.
Recognize her. She looked different on the card.
Yeah, you don't remember her and what you call it?
She was blonde.
Yeah, like she looks.
I guess I'll probably need to just rewatch Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
After I watch the Venture Brother movie.
I don't think we'll get a Talon, but you never know. It's like, look, I don't know if they're gonna revisit the whole Wolverine side of things after this, right? Because but I guess you could, right? Because you could do Talon, you could do what's Home Chick's name? I can't remember what her new name is. The X-23 clone. Yeah, but she's not called Honey Badger anymore. Yeah. She's called Scout now, I think.
They got to do all those because I already paid in advance for the season pass. I usually don't do it in advance.
Yeah, gotta do something. I mean, they already got Dakin in there.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Wait, there's already a Talon.
A Talon Marvel Snap card?
No, in Marvel.
Yeah, but we're talking about Snap.
What? Who's? Are you talking about the Darkhawk stuff?
Yeah.
But I think that's an organization. I don't think that's.
And they have
of something, and then Talon is a person in that fraternity.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the fraternity of Raptors, I think.
Right.
You can have two.
Yeah. Besides, like nobody really knows that other one. Like, don't get me wrong.
Dang, Jay, he called you a nobody.
No, I don't know who Talon was. I was just trying to look up if there is a snap card for Talon. Fraternity of Raptors is the first thing that came up.
But we could have still made Larry feel bad.
Listen, I'd be calling myself a nobody. I actually know who the character is. But then here's the wild part, though. I'm pretty sure there's another Talon, right? Because isn't whatchamacallit sister named Talon?
Yeah. Was it Feral or
Feral? Yeah, Feral's
Yeah.
sister. I'm pretty sure is named Talon too. So
yeah, that's right.
So
But she got
there's
killed by
3.
Romulus. So.
Well, there it is. So
she frees it up.
That's like 6 or wait.
Who's Mr. Talon?
They're like 11 Talons.
Well, what good is one Talon? Like, if you're gonna make damage, you need more than one Talon.
So there you go. So there's a lot of Talons in Marvel, apparently.
Yeah. There's the Leroy Talon.
Apparently, at different points, been doomed to irrelevance.
But not as an alias. Like, there's a proper name, Talon, but not alias.
Only 7 of them are on Earth 616.
Oh, see.
That's
and one of them's dead. One of them's dead for sure.
Like 3 is the most I can come up with. Like, I literally don't know like who's like there's Feral's sister, there's the Raptor, and then there's the Laura Kinney. I don't like who are the
Ares.
other
Ares is
Mr. Talon.
Yeah, but that's a proper name. That's not. It's Ares.
Talon Archimedes, Armachedonian, and there's Ichijiku Talon.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate you clearing that up.
And the Talon Doppelganger.
Who's the Talon Doppelganger? You talking about like from like Infinity War?
Yes.
But who's that a doppelganger of?
It says when Magus sought to conquer the universe, he visited Anthropomorpho in the dimension of manifestations. One of the doppelgangers was based off the time-displaced Guardians of the Galaxy member known as Talon.
Oh Jesus! I don't know who the time-displaced Guardians of the Galaxy member named. I don't know who that is off the top of my head. Like if I see them, maybe I'd be like, oh yeah, but I don't know.
I'll do it. I don't know why I became the share the screen guy.
You're the share the screen guy.
You got to do something.
You're so generous. You got to do something.
I bring the comedy. There's Talon.
Oh, why is Talon pulsing?
Animated.
Animated. That's funny. That's funny.
I gift all over her.
Oh, jeez. Yeah,
GIF.
I don't.
It's GIF.
I don't know who that is.
Look, it's first appearance, Guardians of the Galaxy 18, September 1991. You don't remember that book?
No. No, I do not.
I remember September 1991 is the first time I jizzed my pants.
There it is, because of Talon.
If
pulsing like
Abnett,
that, yeah.
If Abnett and Lanning didn't do it, Larry don't know it.
I won't say that, but I do like Abnett and Lanning's take more than anything. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Yeah, we should rate it. I think we're at the end of that. Even though I did want to say, well, I did want to ask you all, like, what was your take on Professor X's decision to basically like exile his own people by force?
He didn't have a choice.
It was the right thing to do.
Really? Wow.
I think he had a choice. I mean, they got if they kill him, they can resurrect him, and they can fuck all these people up eventually. You know,
but they wouldn't just kill him; they were going to kill humans. Like all
exactly. He didn't care about his life. Yeah. He was like, right, exactly, right.
Like, what do you care? As mutants, we're trying to get the fuck off this planet, and they're still trying to kill us. Fuck them. Like it's people that hate mutants killing humans, and you know what? The humans should fight with us too. They need to know that people are trying to kill them too.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. I was like kind of taken aback by, where I'm like, wow, like it's like one, I get that, it's like, hello, taking tugboat. It's one thing to be like, hey, you know, they're gonna hurt people, they're gonna hurt human beings if we don't leave, but to force everybody, it's like, because obviously everybody's not gonna make that choice. Everybody's not gonna be like, oh well, yeah, let's do what's best for the humans. But it's like,
well, he didn't
there's a
have
good
time
reason.
to convince people. Like there wasn't time for a discussion. It's like you got to go.
It's a psychic attack. Like he forced everybody out. He could force them to fight.
I'm just saying, like it's more so the
That's
idea,
just
like
bad optics.
But
They're
the
mutants.
idea, though,
Their whole existence is bad optics. People choose what they want to see from mutants.
It's more so
that's
though,
why
like
you retreat and
well, they
like, find another day.
He put them in a meat grinder.
But he didn't know that though.
Right.
But here's the whole thing, though.
Like, go ahead, Larry. Sorry.
It's not like by not forcing his people to leave Earth, he's killing the humans. Like, he's not killing the humans. Like, Orcus is killing the humans. So it's like, and I get it. They're like, oh, we'll give you a choice. And it's like, well, listen, like, there's no reason for him to trust them. So it's like literally like choosing between what's best for the humans and what's best for his own people.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I don't know, like why would we mess around and like trust them to do what's right? One, but even if we did trust them, it's like at the end of the day, if we're like, hey, we shouldn't have to leave, and they're like, oh well, you're basically deciding to kill people, and it's like, well, I'm not deciding to kill people. You're deciding to kill people. I'm deciding to stay. Which is a whole different way. But it's wild how it gets framed that way. And there's some people that would definitely see it that way too. I know, where they're like, oh man, all you have to do is go. And it's like, well, I shouldn't have to go.
Well, they're preparing. Like, didn't Iceman like terraform Araco so that they can have a place? Huh? Mars? Yeah, I call it by
Araco. Yeah, but right, exactly, right.
Because I'm
like, but the fact is, though, he terraformed it, and they could go there, but should they have to go?
That's where they're going too, right?
They're planning. They're working on it. They're still trying to figure out the environment. Like that's what Storm's doing up there.
No, the environment.
They can live on the moon. They can live on terraform Mars.
Listen, Mars, like any mutant that wants to live on Araco could live on Araco already. Like it's not like it's uninhabitable. Like they can go live there. It's done.
How's the Wi-Fi there though?
Right.
Like can they watch our show on Araco?
I think so, but
Which
I don't know.
It extends the Wi-Fi.
I think it's Krakoa. And
it's just unfriendly natives you have to worry about.
You got that on Earth.
Not anymore, thanks to the white people.
But it's wild though, because I'm like I feel like, especially like looking at stuff in comics and listening to like people talk about commentary, it's like, there are kind of folks that are like, they should definitely, like, that's the only choice he had. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't see it that way at all. Like, it's like, left to my own, like, if you leave me to that choice, I'm not going to force anybody to leave. And like, why should anybody leave? Why should anybody have to leave? It's like, it's their planet too.
Now, he forces everybody, well, like everybody, not like even the people that don't know they're mutants. Like if Kamala hadn't been resurrected, would she have walked into one of the portals?
That's a good question. I don't know.
That's the assumption I made. Is Cerebro
knows? No, they didn't know her. I think they said something like her X gene. They didn't really like pick up on it till she died, right?
Well, no, at some point, Cerebro knew she was a mutant enough to back up her memory.
It was like right before she died, I think.
I feel like they
Did
say
she
it
have
in
to
the
die
beginning.
for that?
That might be part of the man, because they don't even explain what her gift is. You know,
well, they don't know. Like, it hasn't manifested.
Yeah.
Right. But
we know.
But
We know.
what is
the
light powers?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
definitely gonna be the light
she's
powers.
not. No, she's not a power battery.
She's gonna have the light powers. Like what? Listen, you don't go to all this trouble and then give her a completely different mutant power than the whatchamacallit. Like you're not. It's gonna be the same power. Which
I hate this book more now.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, listen, I'm not happy about it either, but
why couldn't Chasm
that's
be
what
a
it's gonna be.
or Mary Jane? Like, what if
Actually, that's
what if
another
she's
thing
a
I heard? That's another thing I read is that her death and resurrection was originally supposed to be Mary Jane, but there was like a backlash or something, so they changed it last minute to Miss Marvel, and then figured, well, we might as well tie it to the movies too. That's what that's all. Like, I don't know if there's any actual evidence. That's all just people speculating online. You know how much I hate when people just talk stuff online, don't even know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Subscribe, like, and hit the bell while you're at it.
So we ready to rate?
Nah. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Larry's reading the New York Times, so let's let him finish that.
What? Okay. So, Jay, what would you rate X-Men Hellfire Gala 2023 #1?
I'm combining it with X-Men 25 because that was my reading experience.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give it a 5.
Despite
some feet art, the story is good, and I like what they're doing with some of the characters.
Okay. Oz.
Oh, and I like that X-Men Green got a shout out.
X-Men Green did get a shout out. There it is. Oz, what would you rate X-Men Hellfire Gala 2023?
I'm gonna go 3.5. There's a lot of stuff we didn't need in this book, but it's a good setup to the whatever the new story is. You know, I don't. You get to a certain point where there's just way too many mutants, and I don't mind a story that kind of clears house a little bit. It seems like that's what this book is.
That is definitely what
you're gonna give me some bootleg cheap X-Men team, and then show me to just get rid of it immediately. It's like, okay, so now we see the main guys are gonna show up and handle things. I got it.
That's wow. There it is. Most Magnum. What would you rate X-Men Hellfire Gala?
I'm with Oz at the 3.5. But for that reason, like, I don't feel they need to clean house. I think they could do stories the way they could do this story without cleaning house like this. And they need to go like that. And again, it wasn't the greatest kickstart to an event or an era of X-Men that I'm used to, and the art wasn't good. So that's like, yeah. So all those things bring it down to 3.5 for me.
Okay, cool. I would give it a 4. It definitely. I liked some of the things that it did story wise, but yeah, the art is inconsistent. You know, some of the stuff that happens in the book has been a little predictable, but then it does do some things that aren't I was not aware were going to happen. You know, they do the Kamala Khan resurrection in this, which, you know, still feels like a weird hokey kind of thing that they, you know, the not only just the resurrection aspect, but the killing aspect and all that kind of stuff. It's just like all like, ugh. And then the other thing I need to mention in here too, that I was like, oh my God, that they did right off the bat, where I was like, it kind of set the tone where I was like, oh, I'm not gonna like this book as much as I could. They said the term Infinity Stones instead of gems, and I was like, sons of bitches. And I'm like, Cats should not be saying Infinity Stones in Marvel,
again,
comics.
You let them call it Civil War, you get Infinity Stones.
Nah, man. Don't give me that. That's nonsense.
That's what you get.
You have no one to blame but yourself.
Oh, right. All right. Let's do some final thoughts. All right. Jake.
I just found out about this game. I know it's like an older game, Billy Bust Up. By older, I mean it's been around for a while. They actually just got picked up by Humble Games, so they have a publisher now. And I'm looking forward to it. It's a 3D platformer musical. Like, it looks fun, if not hard.
There it is. Oscore, final thoughts.
I actually have a deal for you guys that I just found out about today. I somehow got. Apparently, if you have YouTube TV as your cable service and you buy the NFL Sunday ticket package like I do because I'm a degenerate gambler, you get 4 months of Max for free. So, yeah, yay! I get to watch stuff on Max that I don't really care about. There's not. What's on Max that I want to watch?
Righteous Gemstone.
No, it doesn't sound.
Perry Mason.
I get that on TV. Wait, new Perry Mason or old Perry Mason?
No, new Perry Mason.
Nice.
New Perry Mason's tight.
Really? Better than old Perry Mason?
It's not better. Like, here's the thing. You get the origin of Perry Mason in the first season.
I'm in.
I was just always wondering where Perry Mason came from.
Yeah,
and then go right into like the old series.
Like he had to become a lawyer because he lost his house and everything. Like, you know, he was poor. It's
okay, I'll take my free 4 months and I'll check out the first season of Perry Mason. Because
Barry, you gotta watch Barry. That's cool.
I don't want to watch Barry.
Succession.
Yeah, that sounds dumb.
It'll help you be a better pre-producer.
I don't want to be better at anything.
Yeah, that's why we only have 3 viewers right now.
Moses Magnum, final thoughts.
Yeah, look, I wish I would have known about the Mobile. I would have played the music. Yeah, like, subscribe, hit the bell. We got more stuff coming down the line, like always. I still need to film stuff. I don't know. I'm having less and less free time. So, yeah. If you like what you see, keep hitting the like button.
There it is. For the entire Fantastic Forum, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate you. We'll be back next week. Until then, make sure that you hit us up, drop some comments, tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like us to talk about. We are the Fantastic Forum. Good night.